Well, folks, 15 videos in, and it's time we wrap up our journey on our exploration of the Big O. And first off, I would like to thank all of you for your time that you've devoted to my inane ramblings and watching my little passion project. This video will simply be a neat little bow to tie up the series, summarize the beauty of the Big O one last time, and state my potential future projects, where the channel will go from here. For the first point of order, I feel this series has completed what it was meant to do. You see, I always remembered loving the Big O, yet was always confused as to why I could never really find an in-depth examination of it online, why no one spoke too much of it on YouTube. I wanted to make what I considered to be an in-depth look at one of the best obscure animes of all time, to fill this niche desire of mine. And I feel that I've done so, and that is admitting that there are a few loose ends to potentially look at in the future, as one-offs. Those loose ends are Gordon Rosewater, who does represent a unique perspective on the desire to forget, a repentant soul who simply wants to live his last days in peace, Beck, the thief in the good suit, and Vera, who honestly feels kinda tacked on in the series. I didn't talk about these characters in their own video because Gordon serves as more of a set-piece storyteller, and the other two really honestly lack depth to make long-term videos on. As for the themes, I'm sure there were some I could have missed, and I may cover again later, again as one-offs, future additions to this compendium. Themes that I thought of talking about in this original script were that of balance and making a future. I, however, decided not to make these videos due to the fact that I feel that they were kind of touched on in multiple other videos that I've made, and I felt that making videos specifically on them would be too redundant. Finally, I've pondered a video on the production process of the Big O. Unlike the others, I'd very much like to make that video, and I feel that it wouldn't be redundant or anything, there'd be plenty to talk about there. It's just that I feel I don't have the research material necessary to make a good video on that at the time. Perhaps in the future, though. As for the Big O itself, the Big O is a masterpiece of anime, a masterpiece of film. It's a lost work of art that, while anchored in the past, tells the need to march into the future. It combines giant robot fights and subtle themes, and blends them into a story which not only endears us with its action, but also its characters and tender moments, in a timeless blend of style and substance. It is a one-of-a-kind work of art, and it teaches us all about resilience and endurance, whether it's that of the characters saving Paradigm, to the resilience of the show and producers itself, who somehow pulled off an excellent ending, and a satisfying original ending, even though it was essentially cancelled twice. Roger Smith and R. Dorothy Wainwright should rightfully go down in the pantheon of early 2000s anime, as they and the cast around them make for such a beautiful and unique piece. From its unique ending to beloved characters, to its amazing soundtrack and one-of-a-kind noir art style, the Big O is a masterpiece all its own. And that's why I love it, and I can't express how grateful I am to all who have listened to me fawn over such great obscure anime memories. Such memories of such an excellent piece that, honestly, I don't know how it isn't more popular. Its soundtrack alone knocked me off my feet. I don't understand how everything else combined could be seen as one of the great masterpieces of our time and stand up with the likes of, say, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the best animes, but that's not obscure enough for me to really talk about at the moment. Anyways, I simply want to say how happy I am that I was able to fawn over such a great piece, and express such a love for such a one-of-a-kind piece, and try to tackle its themes and its characters in a way that I thought it truly deserved. Now, I don't think that, I've done the series justice, you'd have to watch it for yourself, but I would like to think that I've taken a good crack at it, and I'm very pleased and very honored to have you listen to me fawn over such great, obscure anime memories. And while that would be an excellent line to end on, I do like my lines, as you know, before the video concludes though, there are a few housekeeping things I'd like to look at. The first is what's next. Well, I do intend to look at another series in depth in due time, so don't worry. This is not a one-off. The channel's not going to disappear after this. And I have narrowed it down to a few options, which will be subject to a poll once this video's up and I've got a few other things ironed out in my personal life. But while I wait for the results of that poll, and for the resultant DVD to come in the mail, I will stay busy with a new series I'd like to try, called Section Dissection. This will be an in-depth look at a single scene from a certain anime and why I love it, regardless of context. The idea of it is to simply convince the viewer why this single scene is beautiful, and why its beauty is such that it doesn't necessarily need to be seen in context for you to love it, or for you to say, wow, that was good, that was a good scene. These single standalone bits should be easier to produce and keep the channel uploading while I watch and produce the notes for another series. It does take time to get through series after all, and I'm typing 50-something pages of notes on them. Anyways, I'd hope to upload the first Section Dissection soon, to keep the channel uploading while I wait for the next actual review series in-depth look at. Until then, I really do want to thank everyone who's watched my inane ramblings. I know it's not been a lot of us so far, but hopefully more people will see this in time, and hopefully I'd like to get us all, and many more people, to revel in our obscure anime memories.